Once upon a time, in a peaceful meadow filled with green grass and colorful flowers, there stood a small red barn. Inside that barn lived a bright, hard-working little red hen with shiny feathers and a cheerful cluck. Every day, the little red hen worked hard to keep her home clean and tidy. She swept the barn, gathered eggs, and fed her chicks. Her 3 neighbors, Woofy the Dog, Whiskers the Cat, and Quackers the Duck, lived nearby. But unlike the little red hen, they loved to nap, play, and relax all day long. One sunny morning, while pecking around the yard, the little red hen found something unusual on the ground. "Oh my! A grain of wheat!" she clucked excitedly. "If I plant this, one day it will grow into golden wheat, and I can make some fresh bread." She looked around at her neighbors and asked, "Who will help me plant the grain of wheat?" Woofy the dog rolled over and yawned. "Not I," he barked. Whiskers the cat stretched lazily in the sun. "Not I," she purred. Quackers the duck splashed in a puddle. "Not I," he quacked. The little red hen sighed but didn't give up. "Then I will plant it myself," she said. And she did. She dug a little hole in the soil, dropped in the grain of wheat, and gently covered it up. Every day, she watered the spot and watched it carefully. Weeks passed, and soon green shoots poked through the ground. The wheat grew taller and taller until it turned golden under the warm sun. "Now it's time to harvest the wheat," said the little red hen. She called out to her neighbors, "Who will help me cut and gather the wheat?" Woofy wagged his tail but shook his head. "Not I," he said. Whiskers licked her paw and yawned. "Not I," she said. Quackers flapped his wings and said, "Not I." "Then I will harvest it myself," said the little red hen. And she did. She used a small sickle to carefully cut down the wheat, tied it into bundles, and carried it back to the barn. The next day she said, "Now I need to grind the wheat into flour. Who will help me take it to the mill?" Woofy looked at his bone and said, "Not I." Whiskers curled up for a nap. "Not I." Quackers floated on the pond. "Not I." "Then I will do it myself," said the little red hen. She loaded the wheat into a sack, placed it in her wheelbarrow, and pushed it all the way to the mill and back. Finally she said, "Now I will use this flour to bake some bread. Who will help me bake it?" Woofy sniffed the air and shook his head. "Not I." Whiskers rolled over and said, "Not I." Quackers waddled away and said, "Not I." "Then I will bake it myself," said the little red hen. And she did. She mixed the flour with water, yeast, and a pinch of salt. She kneaded the dough, shaped it into a loaf, and popped it into the warm oven. Before long, the whole barn was filled with the mouth-watering smell of fresh-baked bread. Soon Woofy, Whiskers, and Quackers followed the smell and came running to the little red hen's kitchen. "That smells amazing," said Woofy. "Can we have some?" asked Whiskers. "I'd love a slice," quacked Quackers. But the little red hen looked at them and said firmly, "No, you did not help me plant the wheat, harvest it, grind it, or bake the bread. I will eat it myself." And she sat down at the table, buttered a slice, and took a big, satisfied bite. Woofy, Whiskers, and Quackers watched quietly. They realized they had missed out because they hadn't helped. From that day on, when the little red hen had work to do, her 3 neighbors were the first to ask, "How can we help?" This story teaches us that hard work brings rewards, and if you want to enjoy the benefits, you must be willing to do your part.